Hi, this is Remy Berg. I'm doing a podcast for my English class in which my research paper was about file sharing on the internet, and I'm here to discuss the pros and cons of it through this podcast. Alright, the first argument is for file sharing. These are the pros for file sharing. Are CDs worth buying? A CD only has a few good songs, so why would I buy the whole album? CDs cost too much. I wouldn't have bought the CD anyway. Music these days is terrible, so that's why sales are declining, not because people are file sharing. A 2006 poll found that 49% of music fans ages 18 to 34 say music is getting worse. That's just about half of the overall music fan base. P2P in general. Peer-to-peer networks have many useful applications. They shouldn't be shut down to stop music piracy. Some copyrighted media is allowed to be shared. You can use them to distribute files that don't have copyright restrictions, aka public domain. I can only download songs I already own as a backup copy. Is copyright infringement wrong? MP3s are not a physical thing, so no actual value is lost by quote-unquote stealing a song. Intellectual property should not follow the same rules as physical property. The misused notion of intellectual property as a form of tangible property should not be existent. Inventions then cannot in nature be a subject of property. Making intellectual property decisions by analogy to physical object property or even to older intellectual property policies is a mistake. If taping off the radio is okay, then why is trading MP3s not okay? If sharing with one friend is okay, then what's wrong with sharing with everyone? If the internet is global and the IAA is forcing American laws on the world. Copyright law is becoming increasingly restrictive because of special interests. Here is one key court decision in the court of law. MGM versus Grokster. The ruling was June 27th of 2005. The case was about whether creators of P2P programs, aka peer-to-peer programs, could be held liable for copyright infringement taking place by the users of the software. The United States Supreme Court ruled that the software creators can and will be held responsible if the program's intent is clearly to infringe upon the copyright restrictions. There are many artists in the industry that actually support file sharing. Janice Ian said, "The premise of all this ballyhoo is that the industry and its artists are being harmed by free downloading, which is nonsense." Sonic Youth's Trustin Moore says, "Trying to control music sharing by shutting down P2P sites or MP3 blogs or BitTorrent or whatever other technology comes along is like trying to control an affair of the heart. Nothing will stop it." Blur's Dave Roundtree, "I'm blisteringly in favor of file sharing software. You can't stop people exchanging any digitizable media over the internet." Wilco's Jeff Tweedy says, "If people are downloading our music, they're listening to it. The internet is like radio for us. I don't believe every download is a lost sale. I don't want potential fans to be blocked because the choice to check out our music becomes a financial decision for them. Many artists oppose file sharing and DRM copyright protection on CD and digital music." Chumbawamba's Neil Ferguson, so why would the record company want you to stop playing your CD on your PC? That would seem inappropriate in this age of the iPod, quote unquote. Putting copyright protection on CDs has little or no effect on the pirate. Stephen Page of the Bare Naked Ladies says, "First, we believe that suing our fans is destructive and hypocritical. Second, we believe that the use of digital locks, frequently referred to as the technological protection measures, are risky and counterproductive." In addition, most people say that it's good for them to preview the song before they would buy it because they would, in this case, have a more likely interest in seeing the band out on concert and becoming a more avid fan of said band, whereas, as the other artist said, if it would become a financial decision for them. Now, here are some of the cons for file sharing. Are CDs worth buying? Music is worth the money, and many CDs are reasonably priced. P2P in general. If the primary purpose of P2P network is illegal trading, then shut it down. The reliability of files on a P2P network is questionable. Lots of music is incorrectly labeled, consists of loop segments, or is otherwise distorted. There's a chance of pirated software being infected with a virus. Is copyright infringement wrong? Trading MP3s is like stealing a CD from the store. Children are growing up thinking music should be free. You may not care that you're stealing, but admit what you're doing is wrong. MP3s may not be tangible, but they can be stolen. MP3s are almost CD quality, and trading them cannot be compared to recording off the radio. The RIAA is enforcing American laws on the world. In fact, in some ways the world has forced its copyright policy on the United States. Despite acceptance of the Berne provisions by many countries, the United States did not sign the Berne Convention until 1988. Rationalizing copyright infringement. The industry is not dragging its heels. Some legitimate online music stores include iTunes and Napster 2.0. There are many places to buy music online legally. Digital music on CDs is better quality than older media like cassette tapes, so you're not entitled to a free upgrade. Artists against file sharing. Many musicians also oppose illegal file sharing. Lars Ulrich of Metallica says, "We have many issues with Napster. First and foremost, Napster hijacked our music without asking." Ed Robertson of the Bare Naked Ladies says, "As long as they see themselves as thieves in general, then I don't mind if they steal everything they like. But it irks me that it's only okay to steal music." Artists and songwriters of every style and genre are speaking out against illegal copying, including Madonna, Elton John, Eminem, Sheryl Crow, Jay-Z, Lenny Kravitz, and many more. Many artists and artist representatives have spoken out recently on Napster. Effects on the industry. The recording industry is having declining sales. Each sale by a pirate represents a less legitimate sale. Between 2000 and 2001, the height of Napster CDs and unit ships went down by 6.4%. Pirating music or movies has effects on all levels of the industry. Record stores are losing out, struggling artists are losing out, industry workers are losing out, and the entire economy is losing out. The threat is greater than the previous piracy technology because distribution is practically free. The recording industry cannot compete against free. Creativity will suffer because no one will be willing to take the risk of pursuing a music career. If the industry did not enforce copyright laws, the perception would be that stealing is okay, which it obviously is not. In my opinion, file sharing is not a bad thing at all. I, in fact, think the opposite, as many of the artists spoke out and said. I believe that I would not see someone in concert if I had not heard their music. Like, I would not see it based on purely on what a friend had told me or the internet or wherever I'd see them. The only way that I would be interested in a band is if I either, if someone tells me about them, then maybe I'll say, okay, I'll download one of their songs now. And then if I like the song, then I would probably become an avid fan of the band, which obviously increases their concert sales. So, in effect, that is my main argument for the fact that